Leads to a second and 11. Now a play fake. Manning. To Shepard, complete over the middle. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. And now the Eagles going to signal. For a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Manning now on first down. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the free safety, Eric Berry. And his guys will take over at their own 44-yard line. So now a fresh set of downs, 1st and 10 after roughing the passer. Working from the gun, Manning. And this is Shepard on the catch. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a first down. A first carry for the Clemson man, Wayne Gallman. And he's got 4 down inside the 20 to the 18.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
Zebra.
Manning to throw on second down. Over the middle, and it's incomplete. Wayne Gallman is running back, the intended receiver. And it's 3rd down.
Yeah, good game catching the ball in the backfield a week ago, and they're going to try and involve him in that way in this game as well. But you can tell scouting is taking over. They're making it a little bit more difficult.
Yeah, defensively, they told us, hey, we've got to take him out of the passing game, limit it to just short runs, because he can really impact this offense. And bringing it in right side here, Beckham. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that, because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So as you said, you shrink the playbook, pick out the plays that work best for you. You know what else you're looking for?
What's that?
Who are the freshest guys coming off of the last game to play on a Thursday night? Guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often.
Trying to punch it in, Stewart. And the D not yielding much there. He's only going to get a yard to about the 2.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
So 3rd and goal, Stewart. And he is in. Touchdown, New York. Jonathan Stewart, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Giants are going to take a first quarter lead. Rosas now to kick this one away. This will be fielded at the 8. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. A first carry for the rookie Nick Chubb. And he'll work his way across the 30 to the 32. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. They'll run with a rookie. It's Boston Scott. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. Now Wentz throwing on 2nd down. Caught by the tight end Ertz. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. It'll be a loss of 1, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 12. Shotgun now for Wentz. And he overshot him there. It's out of bounds, incomplete.
And 3rd down is a key down in any game you play. And 3rd down defense, something we've got to watch in this one. Got to be effective on the passing downs. That's a pretty good first step right there.
And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Giant offense now making their way back out onto the field. And that last drive was very, very balanced, pretty methodical. You think they go that route again?
I'm always of the school that until they stop me from doing something, I'm going to continue. And I think that that's exactly what they'll look to do. But the beauty is the balance that they've created sets up opportunities for big plays. Looks like a run, turn into a play action, and throw one deep.
On 1st and 10, here's Manning. Over the middle to Beckham. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. And he's top 5 in the league in terms of receiving yardage because of plays like that. What have you seen from him on film that you like so much?
Well, I'll strip away everything else and get to what we call the moment of truth. When the ball's arriving and there's a defender there, he just comes down with the ball. He competes and takes it away. Great hands, great ability to finish the catch. One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about. In the pocket, chucked it away, flag comes down.
So you got to move a little bit, right? Know where you are on the field, have some awareness. Tackle to tackle. You got to get outside of that tackle box in order to get that done.
So now it's 3rd and long, because remember, they also lose it down on the grounding call. And this is going to be incomplete. They got pressure there and only rushing 3.
And there's a defensive coordinator right now who is celebrating not just getting home with 3 there, but realizing if that's the type of pressure he can get in the entire game, then his pass defense is going to be excellent. You're dropping 8. Where are you going to go with the football?
And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. 12 yards on the return that time. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. The Eagles offense back out onto the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
And that one blown up quickly, as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up third down.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on second down and short. What I like to say?
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt. I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
No, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well. He needed a yard. That's what he got, and it's going to earn him a new set of downs. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on third and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down.
We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
Wentz can pull it down when he needs to, and the 6'5" quarterback picks up the first down. So after 2 first downs, they get another here. 1st and 10 at the 45. Now flags come in here. Looked like one of the Eagles might have moved. A false start backs him up 5. 1st and 15. They'll run it now out of the gun. They get 1 yard back there to make it 2nd and 14.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stop that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
Play action. Now Wentz. Ertz has it left side.
Missed.
He will not go down. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. An Eagle first down. Wentz to Ertz. Just the first quarter, but tackling going to be so important going forward. They've got to limit plays like that.
And that's something when you see it happen early in the game and they don't get him on the ground, you can always tell that they were concerned about it going in. Because I can just tell you from my days, I remember being in.
Looking for Tate, and it's intercepted. Picked off inside the 10. And he will be brought down, but he's got the interception on the final play of this first quarter. Manning and the Giants come up now 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line.
27 to Sam.
They start on the ground. This is Stewart on first. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
Yes, indeed. That play there, that reminds me of some of the guys that I played with to have that suddenness, able to get into the backfield almost about the time the ball snapped and make a play. How about that tackle for a loss?
Absolutely. He did a lot of that last week when he was named the NFC Defensive Player of the Week. One of the guys on the team would say, hey, yeah, we called him the disruptor. And that's carrying forward again.
Makes sense, doesn't it?
And they're able to get this one across the 35. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
And this is why trying to cover the angle route is so difficult. Anyone playing the linebacker position, when they see a running back out of the backfield widen, because he heads towards the flat first, oftentimes you widen too much and overcommit. He cuts up inside, and that's what we saw there. A nice pickup for a first down.
Got his man complete over the middle. That's Shepard. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. Malcolm Jenkins up to make the stop. And he had a nice play there from his free safety position to hold him to nothing.
And, Brandon, remember when the free safety was always back away from the line of scrimmage?
That's changed.
That changed in a big way. The way we see it now, they're almost mirrors between the free safety and the strong safety. One will be up, one will be back, or sometimes both will be in the same spot. On that play, the free safety was there, no gain.
His first catch, good for 14 there and a first down. Throwing on first down is Manning. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Back to the air on second down. It's Manning. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. This drive, which was going so smoothly, all of a sudden it's a little bit of a roadblock here with two straight incompletions.
Yeah, apparently this defense has had enough. Apparently they're saying no more. We're making a stand right here, right now. But it is 3rd and 10. They've got to get after him one more time.
Throwing is Manning on 3rd down. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. It's a 4-yard pickup, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. And Rosas puts this one through. And the lead moves to 10-zip. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays, and when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense, when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Wentz will try again on 2nd down. And he finds his tight end. It's Ertz. An Eagle first down there. Wentz to Ertz, and the names that end in TZ.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy complete.
And he can't get away from the pressure the Giants get there.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front, nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Working from the gun, Wentz. It's complete to Golden Tate. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down. Now Wentz on 3rd down. Looking for Tate, and it's intercepted. picked off by Janoris Jenkins.
So that's back-to-back drives where they're throwing an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Manning and the Giants come up now 1st and 10 right at the 30.
Zebra.
The drive begins with a handoff to Gallman. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Gun.
On play action. Now Manning. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess.
Zebra.
To throw on 3rd down. Manning. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight. Unable to find anyone open.
And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. And out now come the Eagles. Now, they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. They start on the ground with Nick Chubb. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Well, they did throw interceptions on their last 2 drives, so no surprise at all they decided to start it with a running play. I'm actually a little bit surprised, though, that they got as much out of it as they did.
Yeah, decent little gain. Puts them in a pretty good spot for 2nd down. They go with Chubb on 2nd down. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. Tackle made there by Cody Sensabaugh.
Back-to-back 4-yard runs. Now, look, if they just do that all the way downfield, ball ends up in the end zone, but that's a little difficult to do.
Yeah, I think now 3rd and 2, that defense ready to stiffen up and stop that run. Wentz looking to throw on 3rd and 2. And that is incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. So 1:56 to play in this first half. We're back to East Rutherford, but first this timeout.
Hey, go 56, 27 for Sam, 27 for Sam.
They start on the ground with Gallman. And he powers his way up past the 30. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains. Manning now 9 of 15 throwing the ball, 60%, and it's 1st and 10. Manning. Caught left side, it's Beckham. It's a gain of 13 for number 13, and it gives him a 1st down.
Well, that's the kick starter right there. Eli Manning finding his guy, Odell Beckham Jr.
Yeah, it's a deadly combination, isn't it?
It really is, but what really makes it work is just how unflappable Eli is with his demeanor, able to maintain his calm and his poise, because we know OBJ, he can run pretty hot and get excited out there.
Sometimes just one-handed grabs for him.
It doesn't matter what it is. Just throw it up there. He'll go get it.
It's hauled in by Shepard. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. And before they can run this third down play, we're going to get a timeout, as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. The Giants on third down, 2 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 5. From the gun, it's Manning. And now the ball comes out. Manning lost it.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back, because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
And the Eagles are going to go ahead and take another timeout, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Here's Riley Dixon now, as he's on to punt for New York. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. Now Philadelphia ready to get going on offense again. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you've got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here. What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Wentz now on 1st down. And the giant rush gets home as down he goes. Dalvin Tomlinson able to get in there and drop him for a 2-yard loss. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And they will not get a chance to return this one, as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Out come the Eagles now, as they'll go on offense first here in the 3rd quarter. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there, because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution? Or did they think they were just bad plays to call? Yeah. We'll find out pretty quickly here if they feel like they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. First play of the drive, a success, 19 yards.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little game. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
On 2nd down, here's Wentz. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. A gain of 4 on the play, and they're going to face a 3rd down.
And a nice gain and a broken tackle along the way, and really we shouldn't be surprised. Runners do, especially the best ones. They break tackles and gain extra yardage.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Wentz going to try and throw on third. And down he goes. They bring down Wentz on the sack.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. Here's the Giants offense now getting set to start the third quarter. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
Manning and the Giants come up now first and 10 at their own 12-yard line.
Zebra.
Play action. Manning. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And they'll bring him down here right around the 17-yard line. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Now Manning going for the deep ball. He's got a man complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. And that one results in 35 yards. So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up first and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And across the midfield stripe into Eagle territory. The tackle was made by Michael Bennett. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Now Manning throwing on second down. He'll complete this to Ingram as tight end. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
He finds his target, Beckham. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. He got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets him a new set of downs. Manning going to come up on first and 10, and he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. Into the red zone now. Manning to Shepard, complete over the middle. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height. Sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there if he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback that has to slide and find open space to throw.
He'll get this down inside the 10 for a pickup of about 3.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Now Goldman. The gain of 5 that time gives him the conversion and makes it first and goal.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive. Because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired. And
that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. first and goal. Jonathan Stewart. And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage. Back at the 6. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Throwing now is Manning. Flush, and he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes.
Second goal, last thing you need to do is get pushed backwards to take a sack. But he couldn't find anywhere to go with the football. Had to eat it and ended up on the ground.
Third and long for the Giants, and Eli following the sack. Shotgun now for Manning. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And a nice little quick spin move before he's dropped. Had a pretty good game. They do get 8 out of the pitch and catch. However, it's fourth down. And the kick by Rosas is good. And that'll push the lead up to 13-0. So put another 3 on the board. All things considered, a good opening drive to begin the third quarter.
And as a defense, the way that this game is going, you're excited to see those points go on the board. Gives them a little bit of leeway to play with when they're out on the field, but they're real excited to see their offense score. Now they get to go out there and do their part.
The Eagles offense now gets set to head back onto the field. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put.
And down he goes. They bring down Wentz on the sack. Despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. On play action, Wentz. Under pressure again, and down he goes again.
Okay, let's go back a little bit and see if my schooling comes to the front. What's that old saying? Those who forget the lessons of history are doomed to repeat them. That's the same guy who's gotten back-to-back sacks. I think a double team may be in order.
After the sack, they'll come up now third and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
Lefty, lefty. Sunday, Sunday.
And indeed, that's what they'll do as they run it here. Oh, fighting off the defender. Oh, he breaks another. And he will finally be taken down up at the 48. A big play there for the Eagles on third down. 41 yards on the ground. The big play has them all the way out near midfield for a 1st and 10.
Sunday, Sunday.
First down, a run with Smallwood. And he'll be brought down right at midfield after a gain of only a couple.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Welcome back now here in East Rutherford. It's the Eagles behind on the scoreboard, but with the football here as we start the fourth quarter. From midfield, here's Wentz. And And he can't get away from the pressure. The Giants get there. Dalvin Tomlinson in there to drop him for his second sack now here tonight. Eagles coming up here on a 3rd and long, so Wentz and company with some work to do after the sack. From the gun, it's Wentz. And the pressure gets to him again. Offensively, they're going to have to figure this out before next week. 7 sacks in one game.
Yeah, and that's more than any quarterback should have to bear. And if this continues on, there will be another quarterback in the game because no one can stand up to this week after week.
The Eagles send out their punter now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. New York set to take the field. With this lead and the football, things obviously looking good, but maybe, you've taught me this before, maybe this is where the defense is hoping that the offense helps them preserve that shutout that they've got going.
And it has to be in the minds of the offense that they know how rare it is to get a shutout. So take care of them, protect them, take care of the ball, move it downfield, run the clock down. You don't want your defense to have to go on the field again the rest of the game. Reward them.
The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup.
Well, how about this aggressive approach? Got the lead, 4th quarter, continuing to throw the football. Are you thinking about Super Bowl 51? Atlanta had the lead against New England, and they ended up giving it up?
I was going to say, don't say it, but you did say it.
I did, didn't I? Yeah,
anybody watching Atlanta, our apologies. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. On 2nd down, they run with Stewart. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
Defensively, it was Avonte Maddox with a tackle. From midfield, here's Manning. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. So he got free of one tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. 4 yards on the pickup, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. I think you'd have to say defensively, these guys are doing their job pretty well, right?
Yeah, we talked about them holding them under 20 points, right, on defense, and they've done that. They've held them. The problem is their own offense hasn't answered their challenge, which was to score more.
Yeah, exactly. I remember you saying magic number was right around 20, and the offense has been the issue. You're right. It's caught. Shepard. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a first down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And little room to maneuver there. He gets it down to about the 39. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
The Giants on 3rd down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. This is 3rd and 9. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. Call it a gain of 5, 4th down now.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. You'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
And his kick is good. Oh, he just did tuck it into the bottom of that left corner. And that's going to make this a 16-0 ball game. So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but it's still 8 up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
Philadelphia getting set to take the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
On first down, Scott. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that one looked like it might be another.
Yeah, I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let him get to the second level because sometimes he'll break off the big run on his own, but oftentimes you get additional blocking at the second level, which gets you deeper into the secondary.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now a play fake here on first down. Eluding the pressure right. And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off by Alec Ogletree. And this return is going to be halted right around the 28-yard line. That's now his 2nd interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing those hands. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
They'll get it to the 23-yard line. And he's able to get more than half of what they needed. That brings up a 3rd and 5. Stewart. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
And Rosas puts this one through. And that will stretch the lead to 3 scores now at 19-0. So with that, you figure this game's pretty much out of reach at this point.
Yeah, it's going to take a heck of a comeback to come from 3 scores down, but don't change that channel. Don't go away. Miracles can happen, and you want to be here in case it does.
You're a company man.
Aren't I, though?
And with a marker down, he's up just past the 25-yard line, but I think they're going to be going backwards. Let's check the call. Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their own 15. Play action. Now Wentz. Over the middle, complete to Tate. Time for a break. We're back to finish this one off after this. The big play has him all the way out near midfield for a 1st and 10. Wentz now on 1st down. This complete left side to Aguilar. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. A very nice pickup of 33 yards. So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Throwing on first is Wentz. Firing quickly, but it's incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22. 82. Once again here on 2nd and 10. Got a man open. It's Ertz. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Zach Ertz, his first touchdown on the year. And the Eagles get a score closer. Elliott good on the extra point, and that will shave one more off this lead. Elliott now to kick this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Giants offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. This is Stewart again. And he'll slip his way up across the 30 to the 32. And now the Eagles going to signal for a timeout, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game. The Giants on 3rd down. They're right at about the league average, 40%, 4 for 10. Here it's 3rd and 3. Working from the gun, Manning. And Ingram holds it in. He finds some open field here. A big pickup there, and without question, that should be more than enough to wrap this one up.
Well, from an offense's perspective, that sure was pretty, because the corner route, it's extremely difficult to defend from my perspective.
What we just saw there, is that sort of the evolution of the tight end position?
Yeah, I think it is, because more and more, tight ends are being treated like wide receivers. These are some agile players who can make a play in any spot on the field.
And, Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that.